All right, traders, welcome to today's recap. This is Christian from Art's Tribeca Trade Group, and we'll do a very quick end of day rundown. Pretty good participation as the day went on today. Kind of have to keep in mind that I just had the Qs chart that's been just blistering, right? I mean, this thing has been ramping to the upside. Look at the RSI at this point. Pretty darn overbought. I think any way you want to slice it. I think the RSI is about an 80. So, one of the things that we have this week is a pretty mechanical week going on. It's quadruple witching. One of the ones, one of the quadruple witches that, or one of the witches that I tend to talk about more than probably anybody else is index rebalancing. A lot of times that can kind of drive things going into the week. What basically happens when people think of normally when they think of index rebalancing, they think of like, okay, two names going in, two names going out, but it's really the whole index that's shifting around. And there can be what's known as like a funding trade, which means that some of the deletions, they could weigh a certain amount, and the funding trade means that basically there's a certain portion that just has to be bought in the overall index, not so much an ad or one of these one-off ads. It's the whole index that's getting reweighted. That those numbers, like they get the index rebalancers, the portfolio desks at brokers get those numbers at the end of the day on Friday. And then all of that index rebalancing will be happening this Friday on the close. But if you know data and if you know what has to be bought or sold, you're going to go ahead and do that ahead of time. So to me, that's one of the reasons why we saw just this further push to the upside and kind of relentless bid. Even though the market didn't close on the absolute highs today in terms of the what the Qs did, but it's very, very stretched at this point. So the question could also be, so first of all, we kind of have to know that there's some mechanical, trade that's happening, and that's why, that could be kind of just leading up to what we've seen. But at some point, that's going to change a little bit, especially when we're looking at the RSI that's that overbought. And again, what I'm talking about is a lot of just short-term phenomenon type things. But if you're looking for a reason like why there's been just a relentless bid in this market, that just could be a little bit part of it. So I think the question becomes, as this gets super, super overbought and the SMH, which has been leading to the upside, right, without any major pullback, right, I think the RSI for this is kind of getting dangerously overbought here too at a 78. Could there be some profit taking and maybe that gets redeployed in other areas of the market? Well, when we take a look at today, I thought this was kind of interesting. We did not, for probably the first time in about a week, we have not had tech lead. Tech did quite fine today. XLK was up 1.5%, but it was actually consumer discretionary. The banks did well today. Some leisure stocks did well today. So to me, it's nice to see some other areas of the market participate because I don't view only one group going up in a straight line as a healthy situation. I look, of course, to exploit that and to make money off of that. But things don't go up in a straight line. Usually there will be just kind of the usual push and pull, right? Something rips to the upside, people are going to take some profits and redeploy that to other areas of the market. So I view, things like this, retail going up. I thought that there was a lot of good retail names that were moving pretty decently today. Dick's Sporting Goods had a good day. If you look just through this, I know Ollie had a really nice day on a broker upgrade. I mean, look at the move in this stock today. So, I'm also looking at, we'll see what Lennar reports in just a second. They should be out with earnings very soon. But things like this, Home Depot, are starting to kind of shape up a little bit. Maybe this begins to kind of, I like this move above the value area. It's a name I did not do anything today with this one, but I'll be watching that one tomorrow. I did buy a little bit of ONON. I did take some profit targets in this because I bought it in here today. Another name that I've been watching for the turn is Deckers. Didn't quite make it today, but I'll be watching for tomorrow. Kind of sold off there at the end of the day, but yeah, and we've got retail sales tomorrow, so that might dictate some of the if there's going to be continuation in this group, as well as some other areas of the market. I thought the financials actually did pretty well today too. Right, so retail sales are expecting 0.3. If we look at the financials, because all of these groups have not been acting well, so this is not the I would not say that this is a signal yet. I would see if we break into the value area, but overall, you have to start somewhere, I think, for some of these things. Also XLI has been heavily underperforming the market. This had a nice day today too. So again, I would be looking for some continuation in some of these areas. I talked about how GE broke the 50-day moving average for the first time since all the way back in back in here. Well, look at it go today. This had a really nice move today, and one of the names that I added last week on Friday bought the dip in this name. Look at FTAI go right out to new highs. Right, here is the dip that I bought on Friday, and very nice move back in there. Other names, already mentioned, Dick's Sporting Goods was one of our better names. SMCI, but SMCI, again, you kind of have to think about some of these names as trades, because you've got to deal with some overhead supply, and I think that's what MCI hit today. So I would be watching this level right in here, right around this 908, 909, no 909 level. But if you played this the last couple days, you were rewarded. Would I be looking for much more than that? We'll see. It's definitely has to get over that level and over that hump. I also sold some Dell today. This worked really nicely. We positioned in this thing in the middle of last week, kind of got what I was looking for. It now has to contend with that earnings gap. So I just decided to kind of take some profits and run with this one. A few other names that acted pretty well today was Corning. Of course, Nvidia back out to new highs, and you can kind of see from my trade blotter, what I did today. I try to take a lot of profits in some of these areas of the market. I took some more off at 133, right, like 2 minutes before the open today. ONON, Corning took some profits. There's the FTAI, and also, it's again like just different areas of the market. I thought that all of these garbage, it is what it is, right? They're waste management, garbage type stocks. They all did very well today. So kind of interesting, CLH, RSG, and then another one that's been on our list and our out of the box list was WCN. Look at WCN, real strong name today. Right. So again, sometimes you have to cover up the symbol because most folks are not excited about waste management garbage stocks. But hey, a good setup is a good setup, and that makes it out to new highs today. So I think pretty good. So I'm okay with I think um, given how overbought tech and the semis are, I think a good alternative to maybe if they decided to see some profit taking is to kind of see some movement into some other areas of the market versus just an overall, movement down in the indices. So I think rotation is very, very healthy if that happens. But I would also keep in the back of your mind that we've got quadruple witching this week, and things can get a little bit hairy at the end of once we get through quadruple witching, maybe you might see a pause at the end of June as well. I think that could definitely be in the cards, but I don't have a crystal ball, so I just continue to kind of manage trade, try to manage trades smartly, and try to take targets as we go along, and take off a trade or two into some nice strength. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.